Good morning, Oak class. So today we have been asked to create some arrays using some objects from around your house. So I thought we could just do the first one together. So what I have done is I have done an array for the first question on your sheet, which was 2 times 3. And what I've just used some little toys that I found around my house to make my arrays, but you could use anything. So you could use Lego pieces, you could use rolled up socks, you could use other toys that you've found. Anything you can find around the house that you have more than one of, you should be able to use for this task. And when you're making your arrays, it would be great if you could take some photos so that you can send them to us and we can have a look at what you've used. We'd love to see what you've been up to. So let's go through the first one together. So the first question was 2 times 3, and you can see on your screen that I have created an array for 2 times 3. So let's just go through how I did that. So remember that the first number in your multiplication sentence is the number of groups. So we have 2 groups. So this is 2 groups. And the second number is how many you have in each group. So how many. Sorry for my dodgy handwriting on my screen. So how many we have in each group. So to make my array, what I did was I made 2 groups of 3, because I know that I have 3 in each group. So let's circle them so we can see our groups. So the first group, remember, they always go in rows. So my first group is my top row, which I've used animals for. So you can see I've used a dog, a lion, and an elephant to make my first group of 3. My second group is just below. And again, I have 3 in my group, but this time I've used food to represent them. So this is my first group, and this is my second group. Now in a different colour, let's have a think. Actually, let's first have a look at what our answer is to our sum. So we know that if we do 2 times 3 and we build our array, we can count what the answer is. So we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is our whole. So 2 times 3 equals 6. Not sure I can write that there. 6. So that's one multiplication sentence. The next thing we need to do is have a look at what our other multiplication sentence could be. So for example, I can see that we have one group here. So if we look downwards, so we've done our crosses and now we're looking downwards. I can see there's one group there, there's another group here, and our final group on the end. So how many groups do I have? You can count them. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 groups. And remember, before when we did it, the number of groups was the first number. So we can now see that we have 3 groups, and we use our multiplication symbol. And how many do we have in each group? Can you count how many we have in each group? We have 1, 2. And we can check because we have 1, 2 in the next group, and we have 2 in our final group. So we now know that the answer is 3 times 2. Now, if we put our equal sign, again, we can have a look at what the final answer is. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've counted how many there are in all of our groups in total. So we know that we have the same answer, which is our whole. So our 2 multiplication sentences are 2 times 3 and 3 times 2. Now we need to have a quick think about if there are any other sentences that we can build. So remember, we've been talking about division recently. So with our division sentences for the same array, remember that our sentence always starts in division. It always starts with our whole. And we know that our whole is 6, because 6 is the number of objects we have in our array, and it is also the largest number in our multiplication sentences. So we can see that on both of our multiplication sentences, the largest number is 6. So we know that for both of our division sentences, we need to start with the number 6. So I put number 6 here. Now, remind yourself of what a division sign looks like. So a division sign looks like this. So it's a line and it's got a dot on the top and a dot on the bottom. So 6 divided by... Now let's have another look at our array. So our array has got 2 rows across of 3 objects. So if you look at the red circles that I drew, we have 2 groups of 3 objects. So if we divide our whole by the number of groups we have across, so we have 2 groups across, we can do 6 divided by 2 and have a think about how we can find the answer. How we can find the answer to our division sentence. So we know that our whole is 6 and we have 2 groups, so we're going to divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2. And the way we work out our answer is we need to count how many we have in each group. So in the top group we have 1, 2, 3. Let's just check we have the same in the bottom group. So 1, 2, 3. So we know that 6 divided into 2 groups means there's 3 in each group. So that's another one of our division sentences. Now let's have a look and see if there's another division sentence we can do. So remember that our division sentences always start with our whole, and our whole is 6 because that's the biggest number in our multiplication sentences, and it's also the total number of objects we have in our array. So 6 divided by, now remember we've done our acrosses, so our red circles we have done. So now let's have a look at our blue circles. So we're looking at the down of our array now. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups. So do you remember last time we divided it by the number of groups we had? And we had 2 groups the last time, but now we have 1, 2, 3 groups. So 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3, and the way we work out our answer is we need to count how many we have in each group. So we have 1, 2. We have 2 in our middle group, and we have 2 in our last group. So we know that if we can divide our whole, which is 6, by 3, which is our number of groups, we know that we get 2 objects per group. So now you can see 4 number sentences. We have, let's use this multicolored pen. Oh, hold on a second. So we know that we have 1. Sorry, my pen stopped working, but you can see the top division sentence is 6 divided by 2 equals 3. The middle one is 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And then we have 2 multiplication sentences. 2 times 3 equals 6, and 3 times 2 equals 6. So I hope that makes sense. Remember, for each of your arrays, you can build it, and then if you can write all 4 multiplication or division sentences, that would be great. And then send through any photos that you have of your arrays, because we'd love to see what you've been up to. Hope you have a